What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY Quickie, we're going to take a look at something new from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line, and it is, obviously, the Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Tyrannosaurus SENTRY character from the comics, and a cool new idea. So what happens if you wanted to, I don't know, customize your ranger powers and I don't know, also give them to other people. So in the world of the coinless, Draken takes over, takes the powers from most of the rangers, and then redistributes it amongst his own personal army. And the T-Rex sentries, as they were part of that army. Now, I don't know offhand, off the top of my head, whether or not there was only the one, because I remember there's a very specific one that they don't give us like a head sculpt or anything for. And then there's definitely armies of yellow, black, and I even believe blue rangers. Of course, there's only the one pink ranger with Ranger Slayer, so that's that. So there he is in packaging. By the way, Target exclusive. I ordered mine directly from Target.com, but I just checked. You can get it from Hasbro Pulse as well, or you can try your luck and find him in store. That's up to you. So let's see here. We have a new image on the corner here. Looks similar enough to a normal Red Ranger, but different. And you come to the back, and well, that's all you really need, right? Just that look. You don't need much else, right? Probably not. So boom, Studios. Excuse me. And it'll make 0 to 3-year-olds unhappy, unfortunately. And you got there, nice thing. And let's go ahead and get him open. Have not opened him. This is going to be the first time. I just totally dropped my knife on the floor. I'll use my other knife. And it's still reasonably affordable, at least from Target. It was pretty good. Might go up in price depending on where you're getting it otherwise. But if you need these, like I said, Hasbro Pulse now has them in stock. There's the normal piece of crap paper. Slide that out. Oop, we already lost the lightning. Now let's see here. Dual red interior. So we're just basically reusing that from the Red Ranger. Throw that on the floor. We do get some jelly lightning here. That's the same kind of sword lightning crap that they put on so many other characters. Looks more or less like Coral Reef. I think, honestly, if you wanted to redeco your fish tank, you could probably just take a whole bunch of the lightning from the Lightning Collection and put it in there. But BPA might affect your fish. I have no idea how that plays out. Okay, so let's get his weapon out of here as carefully as possible, because it's a very interesting double-ended sword. Power sword, as it were. And you do have a couple of fists. And they're not like pure white. They look a little whiter on screen than they do to my eyeballs. They're like a little more, got a little more yellow in there. Maybe I'll turn this down just a notch. Yeah. And I mean, that's already pretty easy. Because he has this enormous, yeah, I said that, cape hanging out the back. I'm not sure how we do this. I think it probably comes off his shoulders. So let's get the figure free, and then we'll figure out how to work with the cape. And I'm always on board with Edna mode that, frankly, capes are a bad plan. Well, that was weird. Okay, so they actually had to give us a slightly new torso. That's interesting. All right, come on, Dr. Strange. Let's get out of here. All right. Okay, so let's look at him without the cape for now. Our new, not quite Red Ranger, as it is. Seriously, though, it kind of looks like the Cloak of Levitation. So we actually have a kind of new head sculpt. It's a little weird. So, are all my lights on? Yes, okay. You do have the normal T-Rex kind of head, but the mouth plate that normally has some lips molded into it has been swapped out and just painted silver. Painting it's okay on it. It's definitely better than some other ones. The interesting part is the black neck instead of the white neck, which is different. And of course, it is just a ball joint with a disc hinge that's ratcheted to a degree. I'm sure that paint won't come off at all, right? I really wish they would just paint the whole body instead of leaving the plastic bare. It would make everything look a bit better. Especially like down here where you go from black painted on top of red to red painted on top of other things. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that movement. All right. So the chest here looks vaguely similar to a normal diamond situation on a ranger chest, although this outer section definitely looks different. You do have some new kind of lines and line work in here, which looks a little weird because they're not molded in. Like, if you molded in these creases or these armor bits here, would have totally made sense. Okay, so he still has the same ball joint situation there. Oh, by the way, same butterfly joint for shoulders. Arm goes up, bicep rotation. Arms are vaguely the same, but if you notice here, the red on the the red here really kind of sucks. That is weak sauce. Like, they need to go another pass on that because it doesn't even match here. And like, even yeah, because I had to paint the red here over the white. This is why they, if they're gonna go this route, they may as well make it a single jointed elbow, make the entire lower arm in a different color, and not paint that. That's just where it looks stupid. So here you have white or red painted over white, and here you have white painted over red, which gives you a lot of bleed over. And then they haven't been great with their gold paint on their soft rubber plastics lately. A lot of people getting out of the lines here. Come to the back, you can see they've got some black booty shorts going on there. But one thing about it is these are all new legs. Like, nobody else has these kind of thigh cuts here. They're not actually a thigh cut because the actual proper thigh cut is right there. And you can kick about that far out to the side. Also, I will say I do like the new belt situation / skirt situation because it gets rid of the ugly holsters that we always have. You do have the hard panel line going down the side, but then you come down here and you got some really crazy looking greaves for the shins. So it's actually shin armor with the diamonds on there, and the feet are red, not white. So this really does differentiate itself from a normal Red Ranger as it is. So let's look at his cloak of levitation here. And like most of Hasbro's molded capes, there's usually a hard seam line right down the middle, which looks atrocious. I remember pointing this out, I believe, on Moon Knight many years ago when I was still doing Marvel Legends. Let's see how this red paint looks. Yep, pretty ugly. Well, it's just over gold. It probably needed, what, one more pass at least. And then some not so great hand painted gold here for the actual shoulder pauldron with the tampoed T-Rex logo on there. That's pretty cool. I do like the high neck here, although you do have a lot of overspray, a lot of red paint bleed over onto the gold. Probably need to clean all that up. Same thing right here on the front. If they wanted it to be lined in gold along here, they should have just painted it gold, which is something I will probably do instead. I'll just take some of my gold marker, which is marginally similar, and then just trace this whole edge around here, make it look better. It does have a hole in the, or I'm sorry, it has a hole in the back here. Also, the stripe continues. So you just kind of, hopefully, line it up, plug it in. Most capes are a pain in the ass when it comes to Power Rangers figures. So we've gotten Ranger Slayer, who she's got kind of a half cape realistically. And then you have Lord Draken, Mark 3 or whatever they call it, version 3, Evo 3, that's what it is. Which is, you know, fine. And it looks, it completes the look. Without it, it does miss something. Speaking of missing something, here's his new power sword / lance spear. So they actually shorten the length of the sword down, make a bit of a nubbin, and give it a ridiculously long nutty bar, you know, nutty buddy handle, which is fine. I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong. Just interesting that he made the weapons modified. You know, it didn't keep the same weapons. And then a lightning sort of works. I mean, doesn't have enough to cling to there personally. And I'll just give it to him in his right hand, which I'm sure is not going to scrape off a ton of black paint while doing this. Also, this is kind of similar, not really, in a way similar to the way Raph as the Red Ranger from the comics modifies the sword as well. So one thing that's pretty interesting is that we figure out that sometimes the powers can be modified, and then sometimes that they'll self-modify depending on the person, or mutant for that matter. So there's a lot of red overspray here. Like they maybe got some red out of the line and then tried to clean it up, and then it did a terrible job doing so, which is what it looks like. So I gotta try. It's funny how on the box it showed him with his knee sort of bent in a weird position, and here it's the same problem. So give it. Posing this guy is going to be difficult because that cape adds so much weight to it, and he doesn't have an expressive hand on this side. So let's actually give him his fist, which is here. Okay, plug it in like so, and give it kind of a threatening stance. Once again, this knee is a bit loose, so it wants to give out. It's like either the knee works, the hips work, or the ankles work. Either way. And by the way, this is not Jason in that universe. Oh, I did not consider. So we actually do need a lot of the comic book stuff from the world of the coin list. Now that I remember Draken Rising, which is actually not about Draken, it's about Kimberly or the Ranger Slayer. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in that we could definitely get. I do have an issue because my current Red Ranger is in such a formation. I don't know if I can take him out. Let's see what I can do. Hold on. Okay, so no, I could not get the standard Red Ranger out. I apologize for that because I know you'd want to see the comparison. But here he is with his Lord Drakon. And with the Ranger Slayer. So the Ranger Slayer is another case of a really cool modification to the existing suit and existing powers. And realistically, the funny part is almost a one-off mold, because that entire molded arm, the changes in the knee pads, the thigh armor, all that kind of stuff. Actually, I wonder, no. I was going to say maybe they used some of the thigh armor to make him, but, you know, because Draken was one of the first ones to figure out how to fuse combined transfer powers, thanks to Ninjor. So, let's see. All otherwise, because I want to show the comparison here. So once again, sharing and or adapting powers. We do have the Raphael, who is, you know, obviously going to be shorter because he's a turtle. But, you know, the modifications to the weapons, you know, the size that were the power swords, you know, why he didn't switch with... I get they wanted to match up the colors, but it would have made sense to give the swords to Leo. Instead, they gave Leo the blue powers, which gave him the staff, which is silly in this particular universe. So, you know, they did what they could, but weapon-wise, it would have made sense to cross Rangers in a different way. But anyway, so that's just a combination of different Red Ranger power situations there. And I'm trying to remember, I don't believe we've gotten a Rocky, an official MMPR version of Rocky. We've gotten the Zeo Rocky, and we've gotten, or we will be getting the Ninja Rocky, but not official MMPR. Here we go. Make him like a Draken loyalist here now. He was almost like the Royal Guard in a way, you know, for like Palpatine. You know, somehow Palpatine returned, and he brought a Red Ranger with him. But like, it's just everybody gets capes. Everybody gets cape. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera when I was doing this. I was freehanding it. So as it goes, our World of the Coinless bad guys are starting to look really good. I really need a Draken throne for my display. It would be pretty cool. So either way, really cool addition. Paint needs work as usual from Hasbro. What's funny is you get somebody like Draken here, really pretty good right from the factory. Not a whole lot of defects. The gold paint looks good. The molding looks good. But then you start getting into the stuff that comes out. Like her paint job, not so great. Would have made more sense for her to not be pink on top of red, or I'm sorry, black, but to paint black over pink would have made a little bit more sense for her. Instead, they did it the other way around. And then with this guy, you've got red painted over white, repeatedly. It doesn't look that great. White painted over red. It's like they rush out a product to make sure it gets out there, but then don't think about actually how to make it the best product possible. And that's pretty much Hasbro's thing in a nutshell. And if these figures start getting more expensive, I think we're going to see more people probably just buying more premium figures as it goes. But that's it for this review, guys. Make sure you go check out the Power Rangers Lightning Collection playlist. If I set one up, I should have. Did I? Me in the future, check. If not, do it. And I will see you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding. Also, I don't think I ever noticed that Draken's visor paint comes up over his lip. Looks like he's got lipstick on his mustache. Ha.